10 psychological tricks your brain uses every day without you realizing it. Hook, imagine this. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through social media for just 5 minutes, and suddenly, you feel like everyone else has a better life than you. You think those thoughts are yours. But what if I told you? Many of the decisions you make every single day aren't really your decisions. They're silent tricks played by your own brain. From the moment you wake up until the moment you fall asleep, your brain constantly takes shortcuts, fills in missing information, manipulates your memories, and even changes the way you see reality. The scary part, most people never realize it's happening. Today, we're uncovering 10 powerful psychological tricks your brain secretly uses every day. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at your own thoughts the same way again. Let's begin. Reason 1. Your brain fills. In missing information, imagine you're walking down the street. Someone waves at you. Without thinking, you wave back. A few seconds later, you realize they weren't waving at you. They were waving at someone standing behind you. Embarrassing, right? But here's the interesting part. Your brain wasn't trying to embarrass you. It was trying to help. Your brain hates incomplete information. Whenever something is missing, it automatically creates a story to fill the gap. That's why people misunderstand text messages. That's why we assume someone's angry just because they replied with, "Okay." That's why rumors spread so quickly. Your brain connects tiny pieces of information and creates a complete picture, even when that picture is completely wrong. Psychologists call this pattern completion. Your brain would rather believe a false story than admit it doesn't know the answer. Think about conspiracy theories. Most of them exist because people hate uncertainty. The human brain prefers a simple explanation over an unanswered question. Next time you assume someone ignored you, ask yourself, do I actually know the truth, or is my brain filling in the blanks? Because sometimes, the biggest lies are the ones our own minds create. Reason 2. You notice what you expect to see. Have you ever bought a new car, and suddenly, you start seeing the exact same model everywhere? Did everyone suddenly buy that car overnight? No. Your brain simply started paying attention. This is called the reticular activating system, your brain's personal filter. Every second, your eyes receive millions of pieces of information. If your brain tried processing all of it, you'd go insane. So it filters reality. It only shows you what it thinks is important. If you're worried people are judging you, you'll notice every strange look. If you're confident, you'll notice every smile. Same world, different filter. This explains why optimistic people find opportunities, while pessimistic people only find problems. Neither person is lying. Their brains are simply focusing on different details. Reality isn't always what you see. Reality is often what your brain chooses to show you. That's a powerful difference. So ask yourself, what am I training my brain to notice every day? Because eventually, that's the world you'll start living in. Reason 3. First impressions. Secretly control your judgment. Imagine meeting someone for the first time. They're well-dressed. They smile confidently. They speak politely. Within seconds, your brain decides they must be smart. But here's the problem. You don't actually know them. Your brain made that decision in less than 10 seconds. Psychologists call this the halo effect. When one positive quality makes us assume many other positive qualities exist. Good-looking people are often seen as smarter. Confident people are seen as more trustworthy. Expensive products are assumed to work better. Luxury brands understand this perfectly. That's why packaging matters. That's why restaurants care about presentation. That's why movie trailers are so dramatic. Your first impression becomes the lens through which you judge everything afterward. And once your brain creates that first opinion, it's surprisingly difficult to change it. This is why job interviews, first dates, business meetings, and even YouTube thumbnails matter so much. People don't always judge reality. They judge their first impression of reality. The smartest people know this, and instead of trusting first impressions, they stay curious, because the truth often appears only after the first impression disappears. Reason 4. Your emotions rewrite your memories. Close your eyes for a second. Think about one of your happiest childhood memories. Maybe it was your birthday, a family trip, or playing outside with your friends until sunset. Now here's a surprising question. Are you remembering what actually happened? Or are you remembering the version your brain created over the years? Most people believe memories are like videos stored inside the brain, but they're not. Every time you remember something, your brain doesn't simply play it back. Instead, it rebuilds the memory, piece by piece. And every time it rebuilds it, it can change it. Your current emotions influence your past memories. If you're feeling lonely today, your brain may remember your past as happier than it really was. If you're angry, you might remember someone as much worse than they actually were. This is why two people can experience the exact same event, yet tell completely different stories years later. Neither person is necessarily lying. Their brains rebuilt the memory differently. Imagine two siblings remembering the same family vacation. Reason 5. Loss hurts more than winning. Feels good. Imagine finding 500 rupees on the road. You'd feel happy for a few minutes. Now imagine losing 500 rupees from your own wallet. Even though the amount is exactly the same, the pain of losing it feels much stronger than the joy of finding it. This psychological bias is called loss aversion. Our brains naturally fear losses more than they enjoy gains. That's why many people stay in unhealthy relationships, avoid taking good opportunities, or hold on to bad decisions. When you recognize this bias, you can make choices based on logic and long-term benefits instead of fear. Reason 6. Your brain loves familiar things. Our brain naturally prefers things that feel familiar because they seem safe and comfortable. Just like in the image, the soft chair represents old habits and predictable choices. Even when a new path offers better opportunities, we often hesitate because it feels uncertain. The brain connects familiar experiences with positive memories, making change seem risky. That's why we often stay in our comfort zone. Real growth begins when we step beyond what feels familiar and give ourselves a chance to explore something new. Reason 7. You secretly copy other people. Without realizing it, people often copy the habits, choices, and behavior of those around them. When we see many people doing the same thing, our brain assumes it must be the right and safest choice. This is why we sometimes make decisions about fashion, careers, or even relationships simply by following others. In psychology, this is called social proof. However, every person's life, goals, and circumstances are different. A decision that works well for someone else may not be the best choice for you. Instead of blindly following the crowd, take time to think for yourself and make decisions based on your own values, needs, and experiences. That's how you build a happier and more authentic life. Reason 8. Too many choices create stress. When we have too many options, our brain can become overwhelmed instead of feeling free. This is known as choice paralysis or cognitive overload. Just like the person in the image standing between endless shelves, we may spend so much time comparing different options that making a decision becomes difficult. We start worrying about picking the wrong one and missing a better choice. This stress can lead to confusion, anxiety, and even avoiding the decision altogether. Sometimes, having fewer choices helps us think more clearly, decide faster, and feel more satisfied with the outcome. Reason 9. Confidence can fool. Your confidence doesn't always reflect true ability. Some people appear very confident even when they know little, while others stay quiet despite having strong knowledge and skills. This can create a false impression that confidence equals competence. The image shows this contrast: a loud, confident low scorer and a calm, successful high scorer. In psychology, this is linked to the Dunning-Kruger effect, where less skilled people often overestimate their abilities. Real confidence comes from learning, experience, and continuous improvement, not from acting like you know everything. Reason 10. Your brain hates unfinished tasks. Your brain naturally wants to finish what it starts. This is known as the Zeigarnik effect, where unfinished tasks stay active in your mind and keep pulling your attention. Just like the incomplete puzzle in the image, your brain keeps thinking about what is missing until the task is completed. This is why unfinished work, unanswered messages, or incomplete goals are often hard to forget. Once the task is finished, your mind feels relieved and can finally relax. Completing small tasks one by one reduces stress, improves focus, and gives you a satisfying sense of progress.